Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to UI Mondays. UI Mondays, we cover everything on the front of the front end. But today, we wanted to talk a little bit about Unite UX. And I got so excited because Stefan is going to show us some of the updates and kind of teach me what's changed, how to use it. But I'm really just excited to also get to know you guys a little bit better and hang out on stream. But I'm so excited to be here. So Stefan and Rado, can you tell everybody who you are and what you do?
Okay, I can start first. My name is Stefan, and I'm the product manager of Unite UX. I have been in the company a little bit more than 6 years already, working on different products. Started at the candle flavors that most of you, I think, know and love. And recently, I joined the Unite UX team, and I'm very happy, very excited about it, and I'm very excited to show you what we can do with the tool.
Awesome. And I see, hey, Napalm in the chat, I see that you told me my mic was messed up, so thank you for that. I don't know why it defaults to the internal microphone of my laptop that's 20 yards that way, but it does. So awesome. And Rado, you want to do a little bit of an intro?
Hello, everyone. My name is Radoslav. You can call me Rado for short. I'm the manager of Unite UX team in the progress, and I've been with the company for more than 13 years. So long. Yeah, I've started as a developer with UI components, ASP.NET components, Kendo components, jQuery components, and now with this awesome tool Unite UX, which we'll show you later.
I still get a lot of love actually going to conferences for the jQuery stuff. So I don't know. Some people make fun of me, but I think jQuery is still kicking. It's still doing good, but that's awesome. You both have done so much.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm not alone. If I start a jQuery comeback, hashtag, I won't be alone.
No. We still have a lot of people using it and loving it, not just using it. Even on the React side, when I was working there before, we had a lot of people that are trying to do something in React using the jQuery way. They're trying to select stuff in the DOM and change it, which is
funny.
It's not gonna work in React because React has its own things. But people are they know this way, they love it, and they keep using it in different technology as well. So
I know. It was a couple months ago. I had a demo app, and I just put it together with jQuery. It was mainly to show off actually something in CSS, but I got a lot of heat for using jQuery, and it was maybe 10 lines of jQuery, right? It wasn't, but I was like, why would I pull in a whole framework? Everyone was like, you cannot use jQuery. I'm like, look, it's doing its thing and it works. So, and I think a lot of companies actually are still using it. So anyways, a random jQuery love. Fuel isn't jQuery a framework. I mean, it's one of those questions of, is React a framework or a library?
It's a library,
both React and jQuery are libraries. The thing with the framework is that the framework, it gives you pretty much everything you need. It gives you the, for example, the routing. In React or in jQuery, you have to do your own routing. In Angular, which is a framework, you have the routing. You have I think internationalization, globalization, all of these things that come with the framework, similar to MVC and other .NET products, which React and jQuery, you have to depend on third-party libraries in order to have all of this. So
I think that was beautifully put, and I think I always look to, like you said, does it have routes? No, then maybe it's a library. So
this a marker for frameworks in the web. If you have a router, you're a framework.
You're a framework. Yeah. But it's funny because people get upset about a lot of things, but they seem to get upset about that too. I don't think it makes it any less of something if it's a library versus if it's just, I feel like people get a little touchy. They're like, React is just as good as Angular. And I'm like, I was just saying it's a library. I wasn't trying to It's funny. People crack me up. So I'm so excited though so tell us a little bit about like Unite UX, because I know it's gone under some changes like recently, right? Like it was a couple months back when does this have like a versioning system of it? Like are we on like 3.2 now, or how does that work? Tell us the secrets.
Yeah, it's a so it the product itself had different visions, and we tried different things in terms of testing what people actually need and what will help them the most. And after all of the conversations we had with customers and developers in general, we found that one of the things that it's like a big issue now for companies and for the developers and in general for people working in this industry is the collaboration between the designers and the developers. Because like sometimes you receive a design but you're not sure exactly like how to do this with that. For example, you're a, let's say, can-do Angular developer, and you have our drop-down list. And your designer had given you a design with a drop-down list that has nothing in common with the can-do Angular drop-down list. So you have two things that you have to show on the page that initially don't look the same at all, and you have to make them look the same. And that process can be like it can take you a lot of time and a lot of like going back and forth with the designer. Like, do we really need to use that icon because like can do have this icon? It's very good icon. Do you really want to use that one? And then similar with like the borders. Yeah, the borders are a little bit different. Are we okay with that? No, we want that border specifically.
Right, yeah.
So that process can take a lot of valuable time for both designers and developers when they can actually focus that time on doing the business important logic of the application, like not just this. And that's what we are trying to solve with Unite UX. It's actually a tool that allows you to get your designs, process them in the tool, and then just apply these ready styles to your can-do components without doing all of this back and forth and manually inspecting stuff. Like it still has some manual work, but it's actually way faster than if you do it manually. And it really improves that collaboration.
I'm so excited to see it in action, and chat is cracking me up. They're talking about vanilla JavaScript right now and how it's better than everything. Okay, I just seriously, I would use jQuery. Like if it was between writing vanilla or just using jQuery. Okay, that's all. I'm just gonna. Oh, but they're cracking me up. Const everywhere. Yeah. Okay. Fuel and napalm in the chat are goofers, as my son puts it. He's 3, and so he calls people goofers. So that's just part of my vocab now. So I love you all, but you're all goofers for wanting to use vanilla JavaScript. Stefan, do you want to share your screen? Because I would love to see it in action. I'm really curious, like what it looks like with the imports and the exports and how you work with it. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Let me see if like
you ready? You want to see it? You want to see it?
Okay, great. So I'm gonna start a little bit like one step behind because, I said, all of this is like a story for us. Like we want to cover all of this process to make the making of the application a little bit easier on each of the steps. So first we start with our UI kits for Figma. This is something I think we talked last week on the stream a little bit in more detail. So everybody that is like very interested in the Figma stuff, the design stuff, I can recommend watching the stream from last week and knowing more about this. But here I'm just gonna briefly mention it because our UI kits, these are basically design assets on how our components actually work. So, for example, if the designer wants to make an application, they can use this already already made assets instead of making their own assets, which is very time consuming stuff. Like to make your own design system with assets, it takes a lot of time. So you already have this. And the other good thing is that this is how our components in, it's equivalent to our components in Candu, Angular, React, jQuery, and like you can speak the same language to say, like they have the same assets to the components that you have. So what usually the process is, the designer takes these assets and start to apply some kind of changes in order to match their your company design system. For example, this kit is started from Bootstrap, which most of us know it's bluish. But let's say we want to make our design system green, or for example, pink. I know you love pink, so it could be a pink design system. And they make all of the changes. These are purely design stuff, and then they're ready to give all of this to the developer.
Yes.
In Unite UX, which is done automatically by our plugin. And so we'll export it. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yep. And here we can choose what to actually export, because for example, we may not need all of the assets, because we just use a couple of components. For the sake of the demo, I'm just going to export just 2 components, the button and the Dropdown, which I mentioned earlier, but you can export everything. And Dropdown. We have a nice search, so you don't have to scroll over. Like we have, I think, over 100 components.
I know, it's so exciting. Like,
yeah,
people are like, how many more components could you possibly create? And I was like, so many.
Yeah. And here, this part is like just to make sure that you have all of the main styles correct. Okay. Like your primary color is the correct one, then you confirm, and you can create a new project. Let's say okay.
So before this kit flow that we have, a Figma kit to Unite UX to the browser, did either one of you use Figma kits? Because I've been hearing a lot about Figma kits, and like it's just like the hottest front end thing to use for designing. And I know it's been around for a while, but I don't know, no company that I've ever been at like used them to do design. So I was just curious if either one of you had used them before.
We used them when I was in the Candu React team. Actually, I can show a cool thing. Let me just see my
sneaky surprise. I see.
Sorry. So I think I can close this one, and let's say, and we use the Figma kits to make this. Like I don't know if you can see my screen. So this thing here is actually designed with the kits. Like this is the kits here, and this is the actual component right here. This is the Candu React component. It's from the Candu Angular component, and these are the kits. So yes, we actually used our own kits to make designs for our sample applications, which awesome. Like I think I don't remember correctly, but I think it took us around 1 or 2 days to make the design for this sample application, which usually can take you way longer because it's actually a complex application. Like you have a scheduler here, you have a form, and I think you have other stuff, charts, grids, like all of these things. To design them, it's going to take you a while. And with the kits, it's way faster, I think. So yeah, we use them.
Chat's cracking me up. Whenever I use Bootstrap, I get booed, said Fuel. And Napalm said, as you should. I don't know. I feel like there's also, because I gave a talk a couple years ago about giving Bootstrap the boot, just because Bootstrap can be a little handsy with styles. And there was some love. There was a lot of hate for that. So I think if you're going to go out there publicly and say you are not for Bootstrap, you better bring like an umbrella for all the like veg you're going to get thrown at you. So
yeah. A lot of people love it. Similar with material, like it's
they pop out of the woodwork, Stefan. They're like, you saying something about Bootstrap? And I'm like, I wasn't saying anything about Bootstrap.
It's great.
It's great. We love it. But no, so you exported and you chose just to do the button and the drop down.
So
and named that project.
Yeah. So after I did that, I already have this project here in Unite2X. That's the tool we are showing right now. It's Unite2X, and you have all of your projects here. You can choose the one you're gonna work with, and you see the designs that you received from your designer on the left, and all of the in this case Kendo React components on the right. And that here are the actual components that are not just pictures and designs. These are the actual components. You can even actually select one of them, have live preview, and this is an actual clickable button. If you inspect it, you see that is the actual component here. So what you do here now is that our main idea is to make the components, the Kendo components that you're going to use, the same as the one that the designer drawn for you. And the tool allows you to make this like way faster than you usually do, because most of the things you have to inspect them, and try to guess some of the things like the paddings, the correct color. And like you see, most of the things like from the kits, in Unite2X, we try to take them automatically. Like you see the colors here already, the colors that we selected in the design. By default, like I said, the Bootstrap buttons are blue. So this button by default should be blue, but now we automatically matched some of the things. But we cannot match all of them. That's why we need this manual interaction here. And one of the main reasons why is that on the design side, you have design assets. For example, you have different rectangles that you position on the canvas. And on the other side, you have HTML, which is not 100% as the design assets. That's why originally this task is not so easy, because you have to transfer rectangles and shapes to the actual HTML elements on the page, on your web page. So here, let me select the button, and here you can see I don't know if you can actually see
where you see copy styles versus design styles.
I don't know if it's do I have to zoom or not. That's why I'm asking. You can copy the styles here, and paste them here on the bottom. If you notice, but they become a little bit bigger after let me see if I can remove. See, so, and when I paste it, they jump a little bit bigger. So we transfer again most of the styles this way. Now I can select the button here. Let me just make it, let's say 400%, and this button here, and we can use this cool visual comparison to see if they're the same. Now we see that they have a little bit of a difference. Like this one is a little bit bigger. Usually, most of the times you have to do this by opening 2 tabs and then checking like if they're the same or not. And we can see here they have a little bit of a padding and a border. That's why, like you can see here, they have 7 pixels paddings and 17 on the left and right. But this actually includes the border here. If you like this border here, there's 2 pixels. So if we transfer this here, right here, and make them 5, sorry, that has to be pixels. Okay. Now we can take the styles from the text, because the button also have like the text here also have specific styles which we can paste. And now, sorry, I selected the wrong element. And now if you see, they're nearly the same. The text is a little bit different, but that's expected because one is an actual component and the other is an SVG. So like you can see how the picture is a little bit like pixelized, but overall the borders and everything and the size are the same. So we know that this button here is already the styles are ready for that button.
Okay. So Ina in the chat was saying, I'm late. Can anyone fill me in? Absolutely. So Stefan's walking us through Unite UX right now. Really cool tool. And a step that you missed was exporting from Figma kits and then importing into Unite UX. So there's the Figma kit view. And then once you have the design how you want it, you can export into Unite UX. And then now he's showing how sometimes you have to manually tweak things. And Unite UX has this cool previewer at the bottom where you can kind of compare between, as he was saying, the SVG design and the actual component itself. And like even copying styles and like tweaking pixels and things like that, you can all do it in this view. So it's really cool.
Yes. That was a very good recap. Okay, and as the button is like a little bit like smaller component, can seem a little bit easier initially, we can actually do the same with the dropdown.
Okay.
It's like it has a little bit more steps. So let me just zoom out. Okay. Okay, let's start. For example, you see that like they have difference in the border. Like here we have a different icon. The designer decided that they don't like in the default candle icon. They want a better icon for the demo. So we can do similar things again. We can get the styles and paste them to the dropdown. This can give us a little bit more. This can put us a little bit more closer to like the border is already applied, and then we can go to the actual icon here. We have the icon. Just a second. And we can copy the icon styles and paste it here to the styles here. So now we already have, okay. You have to select the element. Like you can expect each small element. That's why I have to go back to the main component. So now we have the same icon. And some of the stuffs are already transferred. You can see just the size is a little bit different. And for example, maybe we can go here. Just a second.
So I noticed that like when you change something for one drop down, like on normal, it changes it everywhere. Like
yes, like the things that are the same, we propagate them. We use it's atomic principle. So we have small parts. That's why the design system, and here we start from even in the kits, we start from the button, and it propagates to all instances and the other components that this button is used. For example, we change the button here, but let's say we use the same button somewhere in the grid or the schedule. That button in the grid or in the schedule will be already styled. You don't have to go and style that button again, because all of the changes that you made to the main button, the main instance of the button, it's already propagated to the other components.
Okay. But if you had let's say on hover, you wanted to have a different icon for some reason. I'm assuming you go into hover state and when you change the icon there, it's not going to change like normal or focused, right? Like it's just changing hover.
Yes,
Okay.
Rad is confirming that as well. That's the case. It depends like where you make the change. Do you make it in the base instance of the element, or you make it in the specific part? Like if you make it in the base, it's going to change everywhere. But if you make it on the specific state, where in this case it's the hover state, it will make it only there. So it will create for you a specific selector and style that is applied only for that portion.
Okay.
Yeah, here is like visual object-oriented programming. You have a base and instances, so it's the same.
That's awesome.
And we just try with this size. Because here in the property grid, you can also change like many different styles of the components. You can expand them and see all of the available things that you can change. Like padding, sizes, text, background, and now we can see that they're like more closer to the real component, and we can check the text here and apply that as well. Again, I'm selecting the wrong component. Okay. And now they're more similar than like the differences are like very, very minor. And like I said, most of the things come from the fact that one is components, one is not, it's like a picture. So that's why there's like small differences, but in the actual component, they'll be pretty much visually indistinguishable. And now we come to the cool part, let's say. Like now we can export these changes that we made. Okay, I got it. And now we're gonna start exporting. Now we notify you that everything is exported and you can save it somewhere on your computer. Let me just, okay. Let me just get the window here just a second. Okay, can you see this portion here?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so this is what actually we generated for you on the Unite UX part. We created a small documentation of the components, and we have generated the styles that you can just add to your application, your Angular React application, and the components will look the way you design them. And I'm going to show you this, how it's gonna look. I have a small project already prepared for this. So we don't go into the actual steps of creating an Angular application and everything of this setup. I know that most of the people here do, or everybody. And I just want to show you the actual results. We generated all of these styles and we just import them in the main styles of the application. And I'm going to show you how these components will look by this is our Can Do Bootstrap team.
Will you bump the font a little bit larger for me?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Just a second. I'm going to try to do it.
Yay.
Is it better now?
Much better.
Okay,
Thank you.
Great. Okay, so here, this is the Can Do Bootstrap team. This is the one that you just get by default when you get the components. And let me just go to the other screen and refresh just a second. Maybe I have to save it first. Yes, it's rebuilding them. Okay. And this is how the Can Do drop-down list. And the can do button will work if you just install them. And when you add the styles from your Nitrox, I'm just having this for like easier switch between both of them. And now they look like from the design.
Nice.
Yes, and you as a developer, you don't have to go and make all of these changes, like inspecting the element like you usually will do, and see the difference, like go here and see, okay, this button has this and this and this, and you can see, let me just make this a little bit bigger. Here on this side, these are all of the styles, I think you can see like the list, that we automatically generated from your Nitrox in order to make the Can Do React Bootstrap button look like this. Otherwise, usually the developer has to go and do all of this themselves, manually writing the correct size, like here, these 2 pixels, this correct, this specific color and everything, like all of these styles, you have to go and add them manually. And with the tool, we did it like for, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes with all of the explanations. But if you do it, you just go on your day and do it. Probably for a button, it's going to take you a minute. And if you have to write all of these styles, go back and forth, instead until you have the appearance you want, I assume it's going to take you a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my goodness. And she's beautiful too. She's gorgeous.
And I remember actually one thing. You can see it when I open the, oh no, it's actually good. Yeah, sorry. This, like the color here also, like you can see, this has like a bigger radius than here. But if we go into the design, we see this is like the menu here is also the same. And this is something that I did initially, and I want to show this specific part how to do that, because in Kendo, most of the pop-ups, like the lists and everything, they're single instance. Like you have one pop-up that is reused in the different drop-downs, combo boxes, etc. And if you want to change that specific pop-up, you can go here in Unite-UX and what we call constructive elements. Again, this, and you can style this specific pop-up, and it's gonna style it for all drop-downs, combo boxes, multi-selects, and all other places that you use that pop-up. You can style it here, and we generate the styles for all components that use a pop-up. So that's also gonna save you like a good amount of time.
That's awesome.
Okay, so did I manage to show you what Unite-UX does and how it fits in all of this story that we have, like trying to make the life of the developers and the designers easier from start to finish?
Yeah, no, it's really powerful, especially when combined with Figma, like our Figma kits and the exporting. Like it's really, really cool. I'm wondering, are there any upcoming like things that the Unite-UX team is working on that you can share, or anything that's coming on the roadmap? Anything like that you guys want to? I mean, no is totally okay, because I just totally popped this question on you. But I wanted to give you a chance to talk about anything upcoming if you wanted to.
So yeah, we have a lot of things actually in the making. I'm not going to share all of them, but the idea is that we want to give you like more flexibility, allow you to make more changes, and also we're gonna want to include more and more components, like we said. Like the candle flavors, they keep making components. Like pretty much every other month, there are new components here and there. And this is one of our tasks. We want to have as much components ready to design in and style in Unite.UX as possible, because sometimes you can have a new component in Kendo Angular, but you may not have it in React. Right. So we'll try to have more of these components more and more, because even if you use the framework that has it and some of the other frameworks don't have it, you can still have the options to design it in Unite.UX only for your framework. And this is something that we're striving for, to have more and more and more in Unite.UX as well.
You know, it's like I don't know if you have time to really work on your own features, because I feel like all of your time would be just spent keeping up with the new components every month. Yeah, Rado's like, yes.
You actually like shot right in the middle, like very good point. Yeah, this is actually it takes time to actually keep up with all of the changes, because the Kendo teams, they're like working very fast, very motivated. They do a lot of things, and we have to make sure that we catch up to them and have time to make more changes. So like our job is very dynamic and excited as well. And we are like actively listening for customers' feedback on what they want, because if you have seen here, the product it's in beta state. It means that we are actively developing it right now, and we are listening to customers for new features. So like if you want to start a trial, wants to explore the product and want to share feedback with us, we're very open to it, and you have the chance, like your feedback, to be one of the first to be implemented and added to our roadmap. So that's I think it's a cool thing for everybody that's trying a product. So this is something interesting.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you guys coming on and showing me the latest in Unite.UX. I just blown away, and it looks like the design flow, like we were talking about, it looks really powerful. So I'm super excited to get into Figma kits and then use onto Unite.UX and into the app. So that's awesome. Thank you both for taking time to come on. And yeah, I think seeing if any questions in chat. Was there anything else, Rado or Stefan, that you wanted to mention about it?
I think that is like the main thing, but I'm happy to answer any question. If the chat have questions, if you have questions, I'm happy to answer it, or just chat about jQuery again if you want. Something.
He's trying to stir the pot. I see what he's doing.
No, nothing like this. No.
The jQuery pot. Oh, well, this is really cool. I love it. I'm super excited too about the upcoming things, but I do apologize. I know it must be really hard to keep up, because I can only imagine with the teams. Like I am like in on like the Kendo Angular team, and I'm like, you're doing what this month? And so like that would be not just one team that you have to like look to and make sure you're compatible with, but all of them. So thanks for what you guys do.
Yes, that's something like very, very interesting, and it's big part of our like main goal, because it's the same with the kits. Like you have the kits on the one part, the components on the other part, and we're meeting them in the middle. So we have to make sure that we're good with the kits, which are actually also expanding. Like they started, I think, I don't know if there is a year, but nearly a year, a couple of months ago, we initially introduced the kits. So like they're growing very fast as well. Like probably the next release, you see so many new things in the kits. They're growing very fast as well. The components are improving, adding new features. because like you see here, let's say, let me just open one component a little bit more.
Just for the statistics, we profiled the layers in the kits, the drone layers, and there are about 80,000 layers drawn by hand by our designers to represent the components, their states, the text, and everything.
Wow. Yeah. That is, I mean, I believe it. Like looking at those as like Stefan was like zooming in through the layers to get like the icons. I'm like, yeah, I believe that. That's intense.
Yeah, that's like, and this is like, I think for the next series, this could be doubled. Like the thing that you see here, it could double in options and sizes and everything. And the components. And also we have icons, like not just components, like we have all of the list of the icons. So you can actually go change your icons. And on the Unite UX site, we will generate you, this is something I can actually show. Let me just find the correct screen. Great. We will generate a specific font for you that is that includes all of the typography and all of the icons that you have, so you don't have to use different fonts and this icon is in this font and that icon is in that font. We're gonna combine all of this and generate a specific font for you for your application that covers
that's really cool.
the typography that is based on the designs.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, like here you can see all the specific things, and that are, like I said, the atomic principle. We start from this little thing here, the primary color, and then we generate different instances of the primary color based on that, like for the hover effect, for the selected state, and other things. So that's very interesting as well, especially for someone on the design side.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just that exported font is super powerful. It's really, really cool to have all of your icons and fonts right there.
Yes, it seemed like something like very small, like you see. I even forgot to mention at the beginning, but it could save you like a lot of time.
Very cool. That's awesome. I think that's all the questions I have for you. I don't know why. Your face is so big, Stefan. Why is your face so big? I apologize. Oh my goodness. Well, I really do appreciate you guys coming on and showing us the new things. And I wish you the best of luck because you do seem sandwiched in between two different teams that are constantly making work for you. So
yeah.
Oh, but thank you both. I think that's a wrap. I'm gonna go and take some more cough medicine so I don't know what is happening today. But I really appreciate you both. This is really cool stuff, and I'm super excited to see what else Unite UX plus our Figma kits have in store for us this year. So
thank you as well for having us here, and we had a very good time.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. All right, we'll see you later on the next one, chat. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.